Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Hey mothers and daughters, let's talk about problem solving. Every Wednesday I have what I personally like to call Wisdom Wednesdays. I call it Wisdom Wednesdays because the things that I listen to, they're from very wise people about very wise things and how to, do more wise things, see more wise things, be involved in more wise things. And I thought that I would bring this to you for this week and just to kind of share with you a little goodness that I have. And I may be talking about someone you've never heard of, and then you could get to know them a little bit better. But before I get to talking to you, I want to tell you where this thought process came from. Years and years and years ago, when I was listening to Pastor Mike Murdock out of Dallas, he owns the Wisdom Center. I was reading some of his books because I had found them in a thrift shop, and I collected one, and then I said, I want all of them. But guess what? I bit off more than I could chew because I discovered the man wrote over 365 books. I am on a mission to collect all of the ones that I feel like pertain to me. He's written over 1,000 songs. His name is Pastor Mike Murdock. He owns the Wisdom Center in Dallas, but it's in one of the outskirts. He's said a lot of things. He's like Reverend Ike. They've said a lot of things that have been put on my heart to move me to do things, to say things, to act in certain ways. And I want to share this with you before I talk to you about how problem solving literally can change your life and the person's life you're solving the problem of. So I want you to just take a listen to what Pastor Mike Murdock said years ago. When I say years ago, I'm talking 7, 8, 10 years ago. As I was looking at one of his messages on YouTube, I had his book. He has a book called The Law of Recognition, and just all kinds of books that I've read. I have one actually right here, The Law of Recognition right here, The Law of Wisdom, just all the different laws. And I have just learned so much from him that when I want to go listen to some wisdom, I'm either listening to Reverend Ike, I'm listening to Myron Golden, I'm listening to Pastor Mike Murdock. There's just certain people that I can listen to them and learn a long, long time. So listen to what Pastor Mike Murdock out of the Wisdom Center in Dallas has to say.
Determines the reward you receive.
The problem you solve determines the reward.
Determines the credibility you build.
You hear that?
You will be remembered in life for the problems you solve or the ones you create. A problem is the golden key to the palace. When Pharaoh had a problem, he reached all the way down to the prison to get Joseph to solve his problem. Daniel.
Think about the problems that you can solve today. I never forgot that. And let me tell you how I never forgot it. Is that everything that I do in business, if it's not going to solve a problem, I don't focus on it. I let it go. Which is my first thing that I'm going to say to you is stay focused. I love that video. Stay focused, my friends. But stay focused so that you can get the desired results that you need to see it through, that the problem is being solved. We just had a show the other day about burnout. Avoid burnout. Seek nature even if you have to to find tranquility so that you can stay focused, because you want your mind to be clear. You want to be able to make the best decision that you can for yourself or whoever it is that you're helping. If you start to feel a little empty, make sure that you do things that continue to fill your bucket. I remember I had a really good friend named Jackie. And Jackie said, she was so tired of working the job she was working. She said, I'm just depleted. She's like, and the thing is that there's no one here to fill my bucket. I'm just completely depleted. And my bucket is empty and I don't have people to fill my bucket. And she was talking about at work. You got your friends, you got your family, you got your kids. But she just didn't have anybody at work that she could lean on and say, yeah, we tired, She had a very stressful job. I would also say, to solve problems, you might want to take a deep breath. And when you take that deep breath, you can activate your natural relaxation responses. I'm going to tell you what I do to solve problems. Judge me if you want, doesn't matter. I ask myself a question out loud. I don't care who's in the room or if I'm in there by myself. I ask myself a question out loud with the expectation and belief that I am going to actually get an answer. And it works every single time for me. Again, I ask myself a question out loud pertaining to the solving of the problem with the belief and the expectation that I will get the answer to solve that problem. That's what works for me. Another way that you can solve problems is you can embrace doing nothing for a moment to recharge your natural mental batteries. I had a business partner who wanted to venture off and do some things with her company, and she called me one evening about 8 or 9 o'clock, and she said, Dawn, I know you're really, really good at coming up with names and things like that, and here's what I want to do with this new company, and here's the people that I want to serve, blah, 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 blah. I need a name for it so I can go ahead and file the LLC tonight. She's like, today is the day that I have to do it. I've spent all day long, till tonight trying to figure it out, and then I realized, she's really good on her feet like that. So what I had to do to solve that problem for her is I said, okay, not a problem. We will not get off the phone until we solve this problem. Let's talk about everything but that. At that point, we started talking about everything except the name of the business. Around about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I said, I got the name. So we were on the phone from like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock till like 2 in the morning. I said, I got the name. And I said, the name is going to be this LLC. She said, ooh, I like that. She was on the Secretary of State website right then, filed her name. That is still her company today. Sometimes you go, what's that saying? Around the way and through the woods to grandma's house. You got to go around the way and through the woods to get to the solving of the problem. You can also ask for advice to gain a new perspective from other people who have different insights than you do when you're in doubt. Again, it never fails me that when I ask myself the question out loud with expectation and belief, it's never going to come back void. Ever. It has not happened in 51 years. Okay? It works for me. So, when things work for us, that's what we do. If you're a type of person who gets those endorphins from walking or exercise, do something that's going to increase your blood flow so that you can re-energize your body. When your body is re-energized and you have an extra blood flow, you can think a little quicker on your feet. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I took ginkgo biloba. I took all kinds of things to help to boost my brain so that I could think on my feet. And it has paid off in life, because when you get into the practice and the habit of doing something, it then just starts to happen naturally. If you start to feel a little bit of hungry when you're solving problems, eat some almonds or something like that. Some type of nutritious snack that's going to give you some good nutrition value so you can stabilize your blood sugars and you're not feeling jittery or nervous or empty or those feelings that people get when their blood sugar gets down in the dumps. Something that used to help me to solve problems is I would create ways to every evening before I went to bed, I would write in my gratitude journal what I'm grateful for that day so that I could shift the focus from what I'm thinking or worrying about to something more positive. I have so many books where I did that for years and years and years. And now when I'm in bed, I just say it out loud. You know what? I'm so thankful for this, or I'm grateful for that. But not only that, in my gratitude journal, I had a line in there that would remind me of what I learned for the day, because I noticed years ago that I learned something every single day. There was never a day when I wasn't learning something, so that helped me out a great deal to be able to have that list of things so that if I want to go back, because there have been times where I'm getting ready to go on a vacation and I'm going to have some downtime to myself, I'll pick up a book that I've written some notes in or something for like a whole year, like my gratitude journal or something like that. And I'll just pick that book up and that's what I'm going to throw in my bag because I want to reminisce on that. Works for me. If you start to feel a little bored, because I'm going to tell you something that happens when you're solving problems, whether it's for yourself or others, is that you'll get a little bit bored because there's a deadline. Somebody may say, if you could get back to me within 24 to 48 hours or something like that. Like I'll have people that'll say, hey, I want to set up a consultation call with you, Miss Dawn, and I want to talk about 1, 2, 3 things. I'll say, okay, what's this? Give me that. Let me have that. And then if our call is in 2 or 3 days, I've done all my due diligence. I've done all my work. I have solutions on the page. Being solution-based is what I am all about. I remember when I used to produce some seminars, and I'm looking for my pen right now, when I used to produce some seminars for a group, and they really loved that I didn't just go in and just talk, but that I was really solution-based. Like I would go in there and I would not only take the evidence-based ideas, but I would also take the solution, and I'm writing this down because I want to remember where to put this. I would also take those solution-based ideas and topics so that when you leave from where I am anywhere, you're taking something so super valuable with you. Like I was telling you, if somebody sets up a consultation call with me, I'm going to say, okay, since you're paying for my time, I'm going to also give you these solutions. I don't care if they pay me $3. I'm going to give them a solution that's going to be way valuable than $3. It's called going the extra mile. If you don't know the Napoleon Hill 17 Success Principles, you might want to join our mastermind groups. Starting in March, we're going to be meeting on a weekly basis for an hour and helping one another. So if you feel a little bit lonely and you're getting bored, and remember I was telling you that about me helping the lady come up with her company name, and we talked about everything but what the mission was, because that's the way my brain works. Maybe if you get on the phone and you start talking to people, let me tell you something, nothing just happens. Everything happens for a reason. You get on the phone with somebody and they may say something that sparks an idea in your head, and boom, there's the solution. Solution-based is where you should be at. Again, when I was doing those seminars, everything was evidence-based. Everything was solution-based. So I went with numbers, facts, and figures. Facts being the main word. And then solution-based, meaning here's some things that you could do to help yourself. That's how I do even now when I'm talking to people about anything. Solution-based is where it's at. I know sometimes when you're solving problems that you might feel a little bit anxious or a little bit nervous, especially if there's a deadline, or if you really want to solve that problem so that you can kind of get it off of your mind. There's things that you can do that'll help to build oxytocin in you. And you can just go and Google ways to build oxytocin. I don't want to give you ideas and you think that, well, she said do this. No, this is not what this is about. This is me talking to you to give you ideas to jog your brain. Remember about maybe 3 shows ago I said to you, when I go to seminars, yes, I take notes, but not verbatim. I take notes according to what they said that sparked an idea in my head. I don't take notes because if they give you a handout, if they put a PowerPoint up there, that's their notes. Let them teach from their notes, but I want to go with what my mind is interpreting and how I want to determine how I'm going to make my next move. Because again, I was telling you, it doesn't matter if they give me 15 ideas, whoever's up there on that stage. I'm going to come up with some things that's going to help me with the everyday things that I'm personally working on, or people that I know I'm helping them to work on. One more thing before I go. First, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, commenting, hitting the like button. It's very, very, very important. I love doing this show. It's so much fun. It gives me a way to talk. It gives me a way to share. It gives me a way to give a little bit of wisdom. It gives me a way to tell you, what's on my mind about things and how I feel about things, and, points of reference. And so thank you for that. But one more thing that can help you to solve problems, whether they're your problems or someone else, you could play some happy music. It will lift your spirits depending on what type of music you like. It doesn't always have to be spiritual or gospel music. So many different types of music improve your mood. I'll give you a tip on what I like. When I'm in a mood where I'm going for it, I'm in the zone, I like to listen to rap music. If I'm researching and I need to be a little bit more calm, I'm listening to classical music. Piano classical music is my favorite, by the way, just in case you were curious. Another thing that I'll do to reset midday, if I've been busy all day long, all I need is a nice warm bath or a nice warm shower, and I'm good. And I love to drink cold water when I'm in a warm bath. As you're solving problems, you're going to find that you're going to have to keep resetting and resetting. And the reason you have to do that is to shift the mood, to shift the mindset. Have you ever wondered why a lot of retreats that you'll see, they'll be in either other countries or away from your city? It's not just because that person lives in that particular city, because I live in Texas, but I can do retreats in Mexico, I can do them in Costa Rica, I can do them in Tahiti, I can do them in Aruba, anywhere. The reason that people will have a retreat in a different environment and setting than their normal environment and setting, and they'll get folks to come from places that they are not from that place. Yes, the ones that live in that place is invited, but usually when you're going to the jungle or you're going to the beach, the people are not on work time there. They're on vacation time. So you bring the folks from the other states, and they will come and meet you in Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, wherever, it doesn't matter. And it's just a way to retrain your brain as you are learning something new. And guess what? When the conference is over, you don't have to go home that evening and cook dinner for people and deal with the kids and all these other things and answer your landline if you still have one. You can focus on the notes that you have. You can get up that next day and you can be refreshed because breakfast is ready for you. Your group is ready for you. There's more networking. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go to any conferences, expos, any kind of events in 2024, and you're not building real relationships with at least a dozen people for the year, then you really did yourself a disservice. Because I will be the first to tell you, networking is not about you building your business. Networking is about you being top of mind from the people that you've met at the networking event. And guess what? Building your business and earning money will come. When you go to network, you don't shuffle out and hand your cards out like you're playing 3-card Monte. Nope, I don't know what 3-card Monte is, but I know it's a card game, and that was my point. So don't fight me on this, okay? I know nothing about card games. I wasn't allowed to play them when I was a kid. That's a whole nother story. Go to these events to meet people, to follow up with people, to see where things go, to set your place in their mind so that you are then top of mind when they need your services, when they use you as an opinion. I've had somebody, I'll tell you right now, and then I'm going to end my show. I've had somebody text me 4 times this week. Let me give you a little background. This individual called me about 5 months ago, asked me to help them with their nonprofit. Okay? And I went through a few things and, spent 30 minutes on the phone, didn't charge them anything. Let them know what the fee is going to be. I was even willing to do a presentation to their board because they know nothing. They have not gotten any money. They do something really, really, really important. They just are not running it properly. However, now the person who referred them told me, now look, you're going to have to pay somebody to help you because you don't know really what you're doing. This person decided that, and here's how I know this is true, because anything you need or you really truly want, you'll figure out how to do it. But I feel like this person didn't feel like what they were going to get from me was going to be valuable enough for them to pay. And so be it, they didn't pay. And he said he would, but then he didn't. And I left it alone because I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to run after you. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not going to pull you. I'm not going to push you. No, those days have been over. So this same person, no correspondence in between, said they could not afford it. They don't have any money. They don't have $250. They don't have nothing. Why would anybody call somebody who has the information they desperately need with $0 in your pocket? That means that your intention was to steal that person's time, steal that person's wisdom and knowledge, and steal that person's information that they're going to share with you. Never let anyone steal that from you when you are a problem solver, baby. No one can beat you at what you do when you solve problems for real. Okay? This person this week has now texted me 4 times asking me a business question that we were initially going to solve that problem in that meeting. So I saw the text and I ignored it and erased it. I saw the text again 2 days later, deleted it. Then they texted me twice in one day. And when I say the same message, it was like they hit copy, paste. I won't be responding to the question that they're asking me because I even ran it through my mind. Okay, can I say this in 3 or 4 words? The question that the person asked me, actually each asked me 2 questions, and it's a paragraph each for me to explain. If I give them an example, that's another 15 minutes. If I take them and show them what I mean, that's another 15 minutes. If they need me to do it for them, that's going to cost them. Remember, this person didn't see the value in what I had to offer, but this is what lets me know they wanted it for free and that they want to steal my time. Because now they're coming back to me asking me crucial questions that can make or break their organization. So I'm going to continue to ignore those text messages. And I'm going to continue to ignore that this person is even dialing my number. And until they can reach out and say, how much was that consultation again? I think I need to set an appointment. I'm completely ignoring that person. And I want to tell you another thing. Because I'm such an amazing problem solver, I have my iPhone set to ignore all calls that are not in your contacts. So my phone does a really great job of numbers that come through on my phone. If I don't have your name saved next to that number, or at least that number saved in my phone, your call doesn't come through. It goes straight to voicemail. My phone does not ring. You don't get to disturb me and steal my time with your, how much would you sell your house for? Your car warranty is this. Or, hey, we'd like to sell you some insurance because we met you at an expo 2 years ago. Who does that? Who calls someone 2 years later after meeting them in an expo when they were interested in what you had to give them? You think they waited 2 years for you? They did not. They did not. No one will steal my time. No one will devalue me. No one will get anything for free from me. No one will get me to push them, pull them, drag them, convince them. It's just not happening. When you're a problem solver and you really, really, really figure out how to solve your own problems and others, your value goes up. That's why I wanted you to hear what Pastor Mike Murdock had to say, because that little nugget that he shared, I never forgot it. I use it as a point of reference when I'm teaching people. I've got a conference coming up in May for my Elite Speaker Academy, where I'm going to just give all the wonderful secrets on how to earn your $1 million as a speaker. Been there, done it. I want to show them exactly how I did it. Everybody has their own way on how they do things. But when you solve problems for people, you change the trajectory of their family. You change the trajectory of their livelihood. You change their everyday living. So if you're not going to solve problems, then you know what? Don't bother wasting people's times. If you're not going to pay someone to help solve your problem, don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste their time. Learn how you can be a problem solver today. Figure it out. That's my show for today. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe, share, and like. Bye.